I have not used an Android phone in 10 years. My last Android was an HTC M8, which came out in 2014, I believe. So when the new Pixels came out, for the first time in a long time, I got excited for an Android phone. So today is a day I've been really looking forward to. I finally got my hands on Google's latest flagship Pixel 9 Pro. It may have taken a while for it to get here in Europe, but I'm excited to open this up and share my initial impressions as an iPhone user who hasn't really set up an Android phone in a long time. So let's unbox this. So here's the box. On the outer front, we have the Google branding. On the side, we have a minimal look with the model name, in my case, Pixel 9 Pro. From what it looks like, the inner box is from recycled material. I can notice Google's eco-friendly initiative this year. They have gone with a fully plastic-free approach for the packaging. It's definitely a nice touch, especially if you're someone who cares about sustainability. A little bit of different unboxing experience here. Usually with iPhones, once you rip off the tabs, the box just comes off, but here we have to slide it sideways. So here we have the standard booklet, the getting started guide, and the SIM ejection tool. A quick sneak peek at the color. This year there are multiple versions of Pixel 9s with multiple colors, and I went for the Obsidian. In the box, all we have left is the USB Type-C to Type-C cable, setting them to the side for now. On the seal, it shows the whereabouts of the phone, and ripping this off, there it is, the Pixel 9 Pro Obsidian. Now let's power it up and run through the setup process. We will talk about everything that's noteworthy. The setup process is pretty straightforward if you're coming from an older Pixel. Google makes it easy to sync your data over. Also, you have an option to pick an iPhone. I'm curious about the Gemini Assistant, which promises even more personalized and contextualized help, like answering multi-layered questions, performing more complex tasks. From what I have read, it seems like there will be a learning curve, but I'm eager to see how it integrates into my daily routine. Google has included an all-new ultrasonic fingerprint scanner instead of their previous optical scanner. Ultrasonic does a better job since it takes a 3D version of your fingerprint. So in theory, it should do a better job even when your hands are a bit wet. I have not had to set up fingerprint for a while since iPhones have moved on to Face ID completely. There's also a face unlock feature on the Pixels. Now we are getting a glimpse of the new Gemini AI animation that Google has been emphasizing a lot with this release. This year's iteration brings some serious AI improvements, and Gemini AI is a big part of what makes the Pixel 9s stand out. The AI is designed to make the phone more intuitive and helpful, at least in theory. So we are all set up and ready to go. The box is quite small, and that's because, like every other manufacturer, Google has stopped giving out charging breaks. So that's about it. Google kept it really minimal, and it's a small box, and I'm a fan. Now let's look at the phone itself. I have to admit, I was really torn between the obsidian and the porcelain color. In hindsight, I should have gone for the porcelain color because it would have been much more closer to the natural titanium color that I have on my iPhone 15 Pro. But maybe there's a little bit of buyer's remorse talk in there. But hey, you can never really go wrong with a black phone. And this is my first ever Pixel phone, and the choice was Obsidian. Holding the Pixel 9 Pro in your hands feels very refined. I'm really liking the black finish under the lights. The sides have a glossy look a bit more compared to what we have on iPhones. That also means it's gonna attract way more fingerprints. I'm personally a fan of flat-edged phones because it makes it feels very solid in your hands. And I'm really impressed by the design of this year's Pixel phones. This is the first year you look at a Pixel and it feels and looks premium. When it comes to build quality, the Pixel 9 Pro feels thinner and lighter, maybe a tad bit heavier than the new iPhones. This is mainly because the material is different in both cases. It's aluminum versus titanium. Google has really focused on making this phone feel premium yet comfortable. It's clear they have paid attention to detail that improves the in-hand experience. Aluminum frame is slightly more polished and refined, which contributes to the overall ergonomics in my opinion. At the bottom, we have a speaker, USB Type-C port, microphone, and a SIM card slot. It's interesting that we have a SIM card slot at the bottom of the phone. I have never seen that in any of the other phones. I'm an eSIM person, so I don't think I'll be opening that up. On the right hand side, we have the volume buttons and the power button. And on top, we have another microphone and ultra wideband antenna, I believe. And on the left, we have absolutely nothing. It's just clean. One thing you can't really miss is the camera bump. It's really prominent, and unlike last year's models, instead of having a belt that goes around, it's more of an island, and I'm really digging it. Besides, it gives the Pixel phones that distinctive look, which they're trying to keep up with all their flagship phones. Google has clearly prioritized camera quality, and if a bigger bump means better images, then I'm all for it. We have 50 megapixel main sensor, 48 megapixel 5x optical zoom lens, and a 48 megapixel ultra wide lens that also acts as a macro lens. I'm really excited to try these lenses out. And by the way, below the flashes, we have a temperature sensor. Apparently, we can take our temperature and the temperature of objects with this phone, and I'm not really sure how that's gonna be handy. On the front, you have a 6.3 inches LTPO display, and on the Pro XL models, you get 6.8 inches. I'm personally a fan of smaller phones. This is the reason I did not pick the Pro XL, and I am not a fan of iPhone Pro Maxes either. I think the displays are too tall, and at least it's too tall for my fingers to reach to all the corners. The bezels on this phone is reasonably thin, giving it almost all-screen appearance, and the display looks vibrant and smooth. Google claims this display can reach up to 2600 nits of peak brightness, which is excellent, especially for visibility under direct sunlight. The 120Hz refresh rate also makes interactions super fluid, whether you're scrolling through social media, gaming, or just navigating the UI. So that's all my initial thoughts and impressions on the new Google Pixel 9 Pro. I'll be testing out this phone in the coming weeks. I want to dive deeper into all the Gemini AI features, and I'll be traveling through the borders of Swiss and Austria in the coming weeks. So I'm super stoked to try out this camera and all the features it has to offer. And I will report back all my findings in a future full review video. So stay subscribed for that. And let me know what should I keep an eye on coming from an iPhone, and what do you think of this year's Pixel phone's design, and what color would you have picked if not Obsidian? Until then, subscribe if you haven't already. If you have been, thanks for watching.